Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we are making this peplum top. Let's get started. I'll be using my basic borders to cut out. I'm going to be using this pattern. This was my back and this was my front. So the front, so I have my fabric folded in two. And this is my front. I'm having this side on the folded area. So I cut out the back as well, but I cut two pieces for the back instead of cutting it on fold, and then I left 5/8 of seam allowance. So I'll go ahead and mark my lines, my seam allowance, my dirt, so that it can be easier for me to sew everything together. So this is how we sew our dirt. You're going to fold it, and then you want to sew to here. Okay, so I finished sewing all the pieces. I'm going to go ahead and iron my dirt. After sewing, after we put together our shoulder seams, we are going to go ahead and again with the right sides together, we are going to sew our side seams just like, and it's going to look just like this. After putting the sides together for both these, we are going to go ahead and put this just like this and put the seams together. And we are going to pin the neckline, and we are going to sew with 1/2 inch around the neckline all the way from this side to this other side. So I already had it marked down so that it can be easier for me to do. So I finished sewing it. What we are going to do, we are going to go ahead and flip it. Since it's like in a round shape, you want it to be able to lay flat when you open it up. Okay, so we are going to open it. So I'm going to go ahead and top stitch the neckline. I'm going to top stitch on this lining. I'm going to lay it just like this and top, you see, this is facing this way, and then I'm going to go ahead and top stitch it as close to the edges as possible. Remember, this is going to be laying the seams that we made. They're going to be facing the lining, and we are going to sew on the lining, and we are sewing close to this as much as we can. you can see that top stitching will really help out on the neckline. It helps it out to lay nicely. So go ahead and iron everything nicely. I already cut out my sleeves. I'm going to go ahead and sew them together. Then I'll go ahead and attach them to my top. So I went ahead and sewed my sides together. I put my tag. I put together the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and I put together the sleeves as well. I'm going to go ahead and turn it inside out. Then I'll go ahead. Remember, I notched it so I can tell from the notches that this is the back. I have 2 notches for the back and 1 notch for the front. So you have to have this inside out, just like this. So this is the back. If this is the back, then the sleeve will go on this side. You're going to pin it down just like this, and the corner, the top, you pin the top over here and the bottom, and then go ahead and pin everything. So after putting everything together, the sleeves, everything, you're going to go ahead and measure the bottom, how much you have on the bottom. It's about 32.5. So my peplum is going to be a double flared. Like, instead of my circle being a full circle, like a full circle skirt, it's going to be double that. That means I need 2 full circles, and this is how you. So to make that, so my peplum is going to be about 9 inches with the with the seam allowance. So make sure it's more than what you need. So this is about 12. That's good. So we have it folded in 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I have it folded in 4. So I'll just make it equal. We have our fabric over here. It's folded 4 times. This 2 and this side. So divide whatever you got while you measured and divide that by 12. So I'll go ahead and mark 275 on here. So I'll go ahead and mark it. Then we shall come up by 1/2 inch for seam allowance. I'll go ahead and mark that also all the. So we are going to go ahead and mark the length. It's going to be about 8 inches, 8.5. So 1/2 inches for seam allowance. So I'll go ahead and mark from here, from this first line we draw over here, the down one, we're going to mark 8.5. You're going to mark 8.5 all the way through. Like I told you, it's a double circle. We shall need 2 of these. I cut out 2 of them and then I split it on the side. That means you're going to be having 2 circles. This circle and this other circle. Then you split the sides because we are going to be putting them together. So I've finished connecting this side. So I'm going to leave this side as an opening. So this is going to be on our back. And then I'm going to go ahead and pin this onto our bodice part on the other top part. Then I will show you. So I went ahead and found the center of my top, the borders. So this was my center. I'm going to go ahead and mark it. Then I'm going to get my peplum. I'm sure my center should be these 2 parts that I marked. Then I'm going to go ahead and pin it together, right sides together. You can see how I finished to attach this, the peplum. I'm going to go ahead and sew on my zipper for the back part. Then I will hem the bottom. Then I'll just go ahead and sew it down. After I sewn the other side as well, I zipped it up and then I sewn this remaining part to connect over here. Then I'm going to go ahead and zip it up. Always make sure the zipper is longer than it go further than the waist because you need it to open when you're putting it on. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to cut off these threads. Then I'm going to top stitch it. I'm going to turn this in here like this and then I top stitch it. So I'm going to go ahead and top stitch it. Thank you so much guys for watching. If you're new, please subscribe, share, like for more videos.